the stream to get copyrighted. But hello everybody, I'm here for a late night message today. It's gonna be a really quick one. I do have cold sore, so we're gonna ignore that. I am a little tired. I just got out of like a lot of emotional stuff because I have a message to share with you guys. It's pretty exciting actually. So leave a like on the video, and we're just gonna hang out for a little bit here at night. I don't know how many of you guys are open. I don't know how many of you guys are awake. I'm personally about ready to make some dinner and go to bed. It is pretty late, but I just wanted to hop on here and talk to you guys about the secret message that my Dragon Guardians have for you guys today. I've been doing a lot of work recently with my Dragon Guardians, and especially the new ones recently, in terms of transmuting like trauma within the body. We've been doing a lot of work for moving stagnant and stuck energy within the body, and it's incredibly difficult work, but it is incredibly rewarding, and that is what I'm here to chat with you guys about tonight. Hey Rebel Child Witchery, thanks you so much for joining the live today. It's so awesome having you here. Hope you're having a great night. If you have any questions about dragons, it's another dragon stream tonight. I'm just playing with some little fuzzy clips because it's a sensory thing, you know. We ended up, if you can't tell, I just got out of some serious like spiritual work. It wasn't like anything too like serious in like the physical world, but it was just like you know, sometimes I like will go into like a meditative state, or I'll like just go into thought, or I'll just get into a trance like state to kind of like receive messages and stuff. Hi Mile High Commander, good to see you here. Thanks for joining the live. Make sure you leave a like on the live to push it in the algorithm so more people can hear the secret message I have for you guys today from my Dragon Guardians. Grennan99, hey, what's up? Thanks for joining the live. So happy you could join us today. I'm just going to take a little sip of tea because it's not YouTube friendly tea, unfortunately. I would show you, but I don't want to get demonetized. But anyway, so I'm here to share with you guys a very important message, and like I said, this one isn't going to be a very long one, but I feel like this is probably going to be one of the most important lives that I have made since I have started live streaming every day. So I hope you guys are excited. Grab some tea, grab a snack. Like I said, we won't be here too long. This is truly just like a little message. I have to just relay some information to you guys because it's incredibly important, and all of it is very necessary to talk about. So I hope you guys are ready for a very serious chat tonight. But it's for the best. It's for the best for us, the best for our planet, and the best for everybody all around. Yeah. So thank you, Moon Marjorie, for joining the live. So happy to have you here. Ivan and good to see you again. Thanks for joining the live. The Vintage System, hey, love your name, by the way. And I hope that you are having fun joining the live. Thanks for joining. So for those of you guys who are subscribed to the channel for spirituality, witchcraft, or dragons, which is probably the majority of you, so if you guys are focused on any sort of spiritual walk or spiritual journey, if you're trying to connect with like dragons, if you're trying to connect with your higher power, if you're trying to connect with gods and goddesses, or anyone beyond the veil, any sort of spiritual type of experience, I need you to listen very careful to me right now. Not sure if I have any dragons around, but I have always found them fascinating. Oh, dragons are always around watching humans. You know, like you just have to reach out sometimes if you want to engage with them. But sometimes you're lucky and they show up for you. But either way, like all you have to do is believe in your heart that, you know, like all you have to do is have faith in your heart that a dragon is close by, and they'll notice and they'll be around. I promise. So I had to deal with a very angry dragon guardian today, who was basically, this is really embarrassing for me to talk about, but basically my dragon guardian was telling me that he's disappointed, or they're disappointed, because I could be doing more, and you could be doing more. And there's so much at stake in this world right now. We're at a very, very delicate point in history where we're either going to evolve and have an incredible era of peace, love, and light on this planet, or it's going to be complete and utter destruction for the human race. as we know it. There's just so many things, like so many tipping points going on right now. And it's all awesome and stuff to talk about, like regulating your own emotions and working with your dragons and trying to manifest your dream life. That's all good and well, to think about, but like let's not ignore the elephant in the room, that like humanity's heart is bleeding. Like humanity is hemorrhaging right now. And I think we just need to, especially with Beltane coming around, for some of you guys it's probably already Beltane, so happy Beltane, a happy May Day. I hope you guys are doing great. But I just wanted to remind you that if any of you guys are working with dragons, if you guys are interested in working with dragons, if you have any sort of connection with a dragon already, and at the forefront of your practice, if the cornerstone of your practice when you work with dragons is not protecting what is precious on this planet, you are doing it wrong. I do not care how many people hate me for saying that. Unsubscribe if you do not agree. If you are working with dragons, if you want to work with dragons, if you aspire to have draconic energy in your life or in your magic, and you are not approaching them or your practice from the place of protecting what is precious on this planet, you are a failure. I don't talk like this often, guys, but this is kind of what I'm literally just kind of like relaying what my dragon guardian said to me. So like, these aren't really my words. These are just like what I was kind of like slapped in the face with. And it was just like basically saying like, people are too comfortable. They're too comfortable in the delusion of their perfect, beautiful little lives, trying to live this like ideal world when we're all ignoring the gaping wound that is bleeding. We're like, haha, let's have the best life ever, but our leg is chopped off. Like, how does that work? So my dragon guardians wanted me to make it abundantly clear on my channel and moving forward in my dragon content that if you are not a warrior of justice, you have no place working with dragons. You just don't. Because what are dragons? What do we call the dragons that we work with? Our dragon guardians. They are guardians. They guard what is precious. Okay? So that's why I need you guys to understand anything you can do to help the current state of the world, where people are running for their lives, where people are fighting for their rights, and people are just literally just begging for the bare minimum: clean land, clean air, clean water, the right to choose what we want to do with our lives, our future, our bodies. These are the fundamental parts about being a human being, the fundamental things. And you have none of the dragon, mystical, witchy, anything unless you focus on what's important, because you have to understand a lot of these spiritual practices, especially witchcraft, these practices were created in a direct response to oppression. Okay, so if you are tapping into these practices without that knowledge of where they come from, you're goofy. You're being goofy. Okay? And so my dragon guardian, like, Azura, you're goofy. You're not doing enough. You're not keeping it real enough. You're good start, keep going live as much as you can, but it's not good enough. It's not the right message. And the right message is take care of each other. Please. Like, as much as you need to take care of yourself first, I totally get that. You have to take care of each other. It's all we have, you guys. Like, none of the pretty things matter. None of this fabric matters. None of this cute little Sanrio purse matters if I don't have you, right? If I don't have my loved ones, none of it matters. None of it matters. All we have are the hearts that are beating as one on this planet. That's all that we have, guys. Like, that's all that we have. And like, we have become complacent and so detached from like where we belong in like the harmony of this planet that it's not going to change unless we change ourselves in here first, and we stand up and pick each other up. It's not about like, oh my God, I gotta cut them out of my life because they're like the horriblest person. While yes, that's true and valid sometimes, if you just cut everybody out whenever you have conflict, you'll end up alone. And you'll end up angry and frustrated, and then you'll have to deal with it all by yourself, because the biggest parts of healing don't happen. The biggest parts of healing cannot happen unless it is within a relationship. I'm so serious, you guys. The best, most profound healing I have ever experienced in my life has come through the love and compassion and empathy that has been shown to me through my cherished relationships. So please, the more that you focus on, like who you want to become, like, what you want to practice, like what kind of witch am I? Like, I might have dragons around me. I don't know. You're thinking about the wrong things. Okay? Like, please, like, I'm saying this with such a gentle urgency, if you will. Like, I need you guys to understand that, like playtime's over. Like, and some of you guys never got playtime, and I'm so sorry. But like, this is the real deal. This is the raw deal. And like, dragons don't fuck around. It's not some mystical, pretty little rainbow, like elemental, fun little fantasy land. No. Working with dragons means you have to stand up and protect what is precious. If you are unable to do that, step aside. Seriously. Seriously. All right, let me catch up with this chat really quick. Let me see. Do you think a draconic path could be dangerous for someone with DID, or would the dragons understand that many parts? Okay, so the vintage system, I am undiagnosed DID. I don't really talk about it. It's very, 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 very personal for me, because of the reason why I have a system is just very personal, and I'm not really comfortable talking about it. Azura is part of my system, right? Like, you guys only know Azura's. This is Azura's channel, like, right? But like, the thing is like, part of my system, like, you can have like draconic identities, and like, that's what Azura is in my system. Azura is the dragon guardian of my system. Like, that is probably the most I will ever go into that, because I'm just a little too uncomfortable talking about that. But the only thing that has ever really helped me cope with my DID has been dragons, reminding me that it's okay to fall apart while they're there as I put myself back together. So I hope that helps. Protection, yes, so true. That is their purpose, to protect the precious. Yes, exactly. The world is out of balance. Yes, it is. Oh, I totally agree, hun. My dragon and I goal is to help the world get better. Yep. If, like, truly, the dragon guardians are here for the human beings who are ready, like, to step up. Like, they're ready to show up. They're ready to step up. They're ready to transform and like burn some shit down. Like, because dragons embody the divine process of creation through destruction. They embody the divine process of gatekeeping for protection of what is precious. And that's why when you work with them, like, you just have to be. That has to be the focus of your work with dragon guardians. I used to be like, no, everybody's practice with dragons is different. You can do whatever you want with dragons, blah, blah, blah. No, if at the forefront of your practice with dragons, if it is not protecting what is precious, if it is not protecting people who are being oppressed, if it's not like protecting the rights of people who are getting it taken away, if it's not protecting the animals who are being slaughtered, if it's not protecting the earth, if it's not protecting the water, if it's not protecting the air, you're foolish, you're goofy, and you're doing it wrong, and you're delusional. Like, it's not real. That's not real. You're literally living in a fantasy land. You're not working with real dragons. That's the truth. You're just not. Like, you have to be there for people who need you. And sometimes you need you first. So stop everything else, like I said last live stream. Like, you have to focus on you, turn that critical lens to you first. And once you get stable enough, you have to stand up and be that beacon, be that pillar of strength. You don't get to be sad. You don't get to be anxious. You don't get to be afraid. You're a dragon. You work with dragons. Are you kidding me? Like, you can go cry by yourself with your dragons. Your people need you. Like, excuse me? I'm gonna take another drink off camera. You know, like, whatever that might mean. Coming back home after work, and I'll get back to go home, and I get ready together, and I'll see if I could come to tonight, or, yeah. Preach it and the love for each other, yes. Can I ask a dragon to help me helping the world? making me see things I can do to heal the world. I really want to start to do something radical to help. Yes, yes, Yvonne. That is what I ask my guardians every single second of my day. And that is how I met one of my most powerful dragon guardians recently, is because I just kept praying to whoever would listen, literally praying to whoever would listen. I need help. I need help to help the world. Like, I need help to help myself. You know, like I was just like lost. I had no direction. I had no idea where to start. And then this dragon guardian presented themselves to me. And now I feel like I can never be knocked down, even if I'm killed. Like, I still will live on, even if my body dies, because, like, energy cannot be created nor destroyed, only transmuted, transferred, and transformed. I win. You win. You can't beat us, okay? You just can't. You can't beat a dragon witch, okay? You just can't. You can't do it, okay? We never die. I'm sorry. Just let me stop. Hey, Tragic Nostalgic, thanks. Glad you could join the live. Just happened to wake up randomly. Glad to catch you. Yay! Glad to have you here. We have to. We have to love, help, and let helping. Live and let live. I'm gonna cry because it's true. Totally true. It is. It absolutely is. My wife and I are autistic witches. Yeah, that's awesome. I almost read that as artistic witches, but it's the same thing, isn't it? Your belief and seriousness towards the dragon realms is a breath of fresh air these days. Yeah, dude, I'm so pissed at seeing, like, there's this huge resurgence of, like, especially on, like, you know, just with, like, TikTok and, like, all of this, like, new age stuff being pushed about dragons, and like there's a few creators that I follow and I adore who have blown up, like, on TikTok, and who create content on dragons, who I'm absolutely beside myself with how much I adore them. But the majority of the content that I've come across about dragons, like, online, especially since in my absence, has just made me want to vomit. And, like, I literally have just decided, like, after I had this basically got scolded by my guardian, and I'm just like, after that, I'm just like, no, I actually don't give a shit what any other human being says, especially in terms of any other draconic practitioner. Like, if your practice, you know, actually, I'm going to take it a step further. If you're a witch, if you practice any sort of magic, any sort of anything, if your practice is not rooted in the liberation of people, of animals, and of land, the planet, if your practice isn't rooted in the liberation of Mother Earth, you are not a real witch, okay? Sorry, honey, I know that might be a rude awakening, but fucking look in a mirror and realize that you are not practicing any real type of magic unless you are fighting to protect what is precious. That's the message I have for you guys today. So if you have any questions, I'm not going to leave just yet, but that's pretty much what my dragon guardians told me. They were like, look, this is stupid. You're being a little goofy. Like, no. Like, you have to look at the ugly shit too. It has its place. Like, the darkness on this planet has its place, and it's to remind us and give us the opportunity to choose different, right? Like, the only reason why, quote unquote, sin, or people say, like, you're a sinner for doing certain things, right? The only reason why the concept of sin even exists is because it is a alchemical process. When you go through something dark, you have an opportunity to find the most bright and brilliant light if you choose to transmute the energy that way. And that is what the Dragon Guardians teach me. You know, that is why I am able to look at the most graphic, horrifying, horrible things, evil. I look at evil all day long, you guys, and it doesn't faze me. Why? Because I know better. I know that it has its place, and I know that it has its purpose, and I know that I'm here to help make it better, and I am not alone. And either are you. I need another drink. This is some good chat, my friends. Some good chat. I'm in a system 2 and have only OSDD, and for now, it's actually helped guide me in a more healing direction. Yeah, remember, DID is there to protect you. Like, that is the fundamental thing about, you know, dissociative identity disorder, or OSDD. I'm not exactly sure what that is an abbreviation for, but it is an identity disorder, and, like, it's there to protect you from trauma that you've been through, you know? Like, and so at the end of the day, I have to look at my mental illnesses through a lens of compassion and curiosity, because the mental illnesses that I struggle with now are a direct response to the incredible amounts of trauma that I have endured, and they were a direct response to protect me from destruction from that, you know? So I actually have to honor that part of myself, and I have to, like, you know, light a candle for her sometimes, you know? Light a candle for that part. Have you ever been evaluated for autism? No, but we all know I have a little bit of the tism. I ask because you remind me of my wife and myself. We all know I'm a little bit autistic, but please do not hold that over my head. I really try not to, like, cling on to that, like, label just because of the work that I do. It makes it sometimes a little hard to do what I do. But, like, at the end of the day, like, I'm pretty much me, you know, and I'm not like, I'm not ashamed of it, and I'm learning how to unmask, and it's very overwhelming, especially when you're in these circles of really high profile influencers and you're trying to be on your unmasking journey. Yeah, let me just unmask with people who have millions of followers and see if that's what's a great idea. No, it's really complicated sometimes in the work that I do, so I'm just trying my best. But here we go. Moving on. Would you say that your old Draconic videos are still accurate and an ideal source for information, seeing as you've been on the path for so long? Time, would you recommend a different video of content? No, actually. All of the information in my videos, I think, is a great place to start, because it's where I started, and that's how my journey has developed so far. You know, like, I never, like, really talked about, like, inaccurate information, you know? Like, if anything, it's just maybe I missed the point a little bit. Like, I wasn't, like, 100% accurate, maybe. I also feel like my resources that I was using for my videos wasn't as diverse as it is now, because, again, I was a child in a lot of those videos. So it was literally, like, my older videos is basically, like, at this point in time, like, watch those videos through the perspective of a child discovering magic, because that's what it is. You know, that's what my channel is. My channel is my journey as a child discovering that magic and dragons are real. And now, excuse me, and now I'm, like, using that knowledge to help heal the world. And I think that, you know, that's incredible. Like, I'm incredibly proud of myself that I've made it this far, and that I didn't let everything that was meant to take me down. And all I'm gonna do is keep showing up and teach you guys how to do the same thing, because that's why I'm here. That's my purpose, and I won't stop until the day I die. Case closed, guys. I hope that answers your question. Or are they still accurate to start with, along with the DJ Conway books? I mean, you can use the DJ Conway books. It's not like, it's a little bit of a controversial way to do it. Like, there is more of, like, a Wiccan lens on that type of content. Like, I wouldn't call it, like, Draconic Path. It's probably more like, you know, Draconic Wiccan, but it's not either. It's kind of like a gray zone. Honestly, DJ Conway's books are very much like how I am with my channel. It's like her perspective, it's her experience with dragons, right? Like, my channel and my content about dragons is my journey with dragons through my eyes. And if the books resonate with you, cool, use them. But the important thing is to know that, like, there isn't one accurate source, and there isn't one right way to do things. We live in a world of possibilities, and the only thing that matters in terms of working with dragons, as it's been brought to my attention recently by my dragon guardians, is if you're working with dragons and you're not doing everything you can in the spiritual, in the physical, in the mental, in any realm possible, in financial, any realm, any way you have power or privilege or assets or resources, if you're not tapping into those resources, those privileges, any of that to help people, then you have no business working with dragons. And that is truly the only bar to working with dragons that I've realized. I might have said it would be different in the past videos, simply because I had this revelation, like, what, 3 hours ago? So, yeah, I just think that if you're gonna work with stuff, please use as many resources as you can. don't just use my videos as like your main source. Like if you find dragons through my videos first, that's amazing, but keep going. Like, you know, find as many books as you can, find as many creators as you can, find as many articles, as many websites, and know that you're not always going to get accurate information and you're not always going to resonate with it. But that's the beauty of this life. You know, like that's, like I said, we live in a realm of possibilities. My purpose on this earth is to help heal the world and bring love, kindness, and help humans remove them from toxic energies from within. Plus, help heal nature and animals stay safe and heal. Yeah, see this, like the hatchling clan exists. It's never been more clear to me in my whole life that the hatchling clan exists to heal the world and to heal humanity. Like the hatchlings are meant to heal humanity. That's what we're meant to do. And right now, we have to build our skills, we have to build our community, and we have to build ourselves from the inside out so we can show up for the people who maybe never have heard of the hatchling clan, who maybe have no idea what's going on, who maybe are just learning about this stuff, or who maybe desperately need us to reach out in Olive Branch to help them. So yeah, I want to help the world, but I know it starts with my own work. Yes, but it also starts with, you know, little steps at a time. You know, like for example, like I what's it called? I don't really know much about like what's going on in the world because I'm not there, but what I've seen and what I've witnessed, I try to like help people where I can. So, you know, like if I can donate to people where I can, I will. You know, if I can share people's like websites or something, like I will. If I can have a conversation with somebody in person and maybe change their mind, I will, because that's what I do have access to. And what I do have access to is I do have access to places with a lot of high profile people, and I do have the ability to make them uncomfortable sometimes. And I'm not afraid to do it, even if it makes my own best friends mad at me. Why? Because I know what the bigger purpose is, and I would rather be kicked out of the space that I've always dreamed of being in for the right reason of fighting for humanity than be there and watch everybody just fall. Like, what? That's not the world I want. That's not the life I was promised. That's not like any of that. Hold on, my roommate just got home. Heyo! I'm on live, just so you know. But yeah. Let's see. Do you believe in light workers? Think it's what I am. I think it's possible, you know, like I think, you know, there's a bunch of different labels for all of these different things. And like at the end of the day, like some of them you might resonate with, some of them you don't. There's also a lot of that kind of stuff that is like a little bit, I want to say spiritually bypassing. It's like almost making it to where like you have to be good all the time, like, but that's why I consider myself, I guess you could say, a shadow and a light worker, because like I move both energies to create balance. Like once you do enough shadow work, you're able to, you know, manipulate the shadow energy much more efficiently, and you're able to move through it much quicker and easier in a way that like, you know, you just simply can't the first time you try to deal with your grief. You know, you have to practice that. Just like you have to practice your love, you have to practice your empathy sometimes and your compassion. You know, like the best way that I have practiced, you know, growing my light and my love is by learning to love my enemies and learning to, you know, wish well upon the people who I'm jealous of, and learn to even do what I can to help people achieve the dreams that I'm jealous of. That has been the best way for me to grow my heart. It has been the most uncomfortable way, but the most beautifully rewarding when you get involved with someone like that in a way of just genuinely wanting to help somebody grow. You know, like even though you have to understand that jealousy is like, it doesn't mean you're a bad person. Like jealousy is an alarm bell for you to like realize where you're failing yourself. And so instead of lashing out at people you're jealous of and lifting them up, you're lifting yourself up in the process. So that's that. May I ask your opinion on the Inner Rings from the Dancing with Dragons book? Did you finish them technically? Tragic, nostalgic. I technically like did and didn't. Like I didn't like go through the like, what's it called? I didn't go through like the actual rituals within that book, like the way that the book like lays it out for you. But what I did do is I did work with my dragons around that type of a concept to help me like understand the draconic realm, because like at the end of the day, like dragons are so mysterious and vague that like we have to find any way to connect with them that makes it easy for us to ground ourselves in the process. And like the best way for me to do that, especially as a child, was through the inner rings. And like I like now where I'm at in my life, I am definitely like graduated from that, but I didn't like do it like by the book, if that makes sense. Like I didn't do the rituals or do the ceremonies that are like in the book for that, but like I did it kind of like in my own way. But I don't necessarily like believe in the inner rings like being the only way to work with dragons. I just think it's like a lens of working with dragons. It's like a way to look at it, like it's like a concept of working with dragons, you know, because like there's just so many different ways to work with dragons, right? Like it's just about what works with you. The year of the dragon have shown you this. That's so funny. How do you say your name? Lahila Devandria. Lahila Devandria. Did I say your name right? Thank you for joining the live. And you are absolutely right about that. This is the year of the dragon, and it's the most auspicious year, and destiny is on our side, and I know it. It doesn't matter. Like, I don't care. Like, you have to remember, being hopeful, being calm, being soft in the midst of chaos and death and murder and all of this is an act of revolution. It's a revolutionary act to remain soft in a world that's sharp and scary. So remember that. Remember that, guys. Today, I want you to practice your softness, to practice your gentleness and your compassion, because the world needs more of it. Plus, you probably need more of it from yourself too, so there's that. Last night I had a dream about someone who came to visit to tell me about dragons and said I had some in my life, and letter W came up. Been trying to figure out, what do you think of this? I don't know, but I do want to let you know that if you're having dreams around dragons, they're definitely already around you, because that's the best way that I've been able to connect with my dragon guardians, and some of my most profound lessons with my dragon guardians have come in the forms of dreams. And every single time I wake up from a dream with my dragon, I just remember magic is real, because it's just like why do we dream like that? Like the fact that like dreaming is a thing blows me away. It just blows me away, you guys. It really does. You're amazing, Azura. Oh, Yvonne, you're amazing. Thank you so much for joining the live. Even if I can just pet my dogs or water my plants, I try to feel like that's my difference in making, even though it's tiny. No, it's not, because let's take it a step further. Remember what I said, I think a couple lives ago. It was, you know, you look at the symbol of yin and yang. It's like the balance symbol, right? But it's not just like a circle with like one line in the middle and like half is white and half is black. You would think that that is balance, right? No, it's a curved in the middle with one circle of light in the dark spot and one circle of dark in the light spot. And that is a glaringly obvious clue that balance means that they are within each other. The darkness is of the light and the light is of the darkness. They are two sides of the same coin. They are almost the same thing. They are almost the same thing, right? Like as above, so below. What's going on in the stars is not a reflection of what's going on down here. What's going on within ourselves is not a reflection of what's going on the world stage. What's going on the world stage is of what's inside of us. What's going on within us is of the world stage. They are almost the same thing. Does that make sense? They aren't reflections of each other. They're almost the same thing. And like, that's why when you like say you water your plants, you think that that's tiny, but you consciously giving that little bit of attention to that plant, you are raising the frequency of all of the plant life consciousness on this planet, because it is of each other. That little plant is of the vast network of nature, and that vast network of nature is of that little plant that you take care of. That's why it really is so connected, you guys. Like, I fucking love this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I'm such a nerd for this stuff. But it's like, that's why when you have plants and you take care of them. So like this is one thing that I learned on TikTok, is that there was this girl who like had plants, and she named her plants after like her family members or whatever, and she like took care of them, and then if the plant had something wrong, like she would like go to the family member and be like, are you okay? And then like they had something wrong with them, or something was like not okay, like there was something wrong. You could take it a step further. You could name your plants after countries, and you can water them, and you're watering the country. You're giving them life, you're giving them love. Like you can name them after a people. You can name, your plant like Palestine, and every time you water it, Palestine shines. Like that's what matters. Okay? That's what we're here to do. Every little act does not go unnoticed, because every little act is part of an energetic dance that we are in on this planet. Like, take away your eyes, you're still moving through energy. You know what I mean? So please don't ever feel like what you're doing is a little too small, or it's just not good enough. If anything, the little things that you do should inspire you to want to do more. You're like, if I can do this little thing and it's already affecting so many people, what if I just add one more plant? Or what if I just add one more thing to the table? You know what I mean? It's just really, really important. Let's see. Everything is a spectrum. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Pirate Wizard Dragon, thanks for joining the live. Everything is a spectrum, and including the autism. So that's kind of like where I'm at with like, what's it called? Emotions. This is like where I've recently got, because my whole life I've tried really hard to avoid certain emotions, especially my grief and my anger. I really have been just trying to lock that stuff down, like, get away from me, I don't want to do that. But the truth is that if life really is just a spectrum, and every single thing that happens is objectively neutral, the only thing that determines if it's good or bad is how you observe it. All you have to do is choose to observe anything as an opportunity for your growth, for your evolution, for your wisdom, for connection with love and building community. Even when you are alone in your room crying, if you look at it from a perspective that like you're actually not the only one doing that, and you crying alone in your room, you're actually part of like millions of people on the planet who are going through such a heavy emotional shift in them right now. Like, we're all together. The only thing that makes it feel like we're not is the walls that are between us, the water between us, the phone screens that are between us is the only illusion. Like, but you still hear me, you still feel my energy, I still feel your love, I still hear your questions, I still, get that, response from you guys. Like, you're still here. Does that make sense? Like, we're all connected. So please don't ever think that you're not doing enough and get discouraged that way, because you feeling like perfectionism is a tool of oppression. Feeling like you have to be perfect and you cannot show up unless you are perfect, or you cannot be loved unless you are healed, is a tool to keep you disenfranchised from your rights as a free soul who's come to this planet to create and to connect and to build wonderful, incredible things with each other. Like, that's why we're here. Okay? So don't forget. Thank you. Let's see, the other day I was thinking about how before I had bowel surgery, I essentially saved my own goddamn life because I was so stubborn about the fact that I was not okay. And my family got really, really frustrated with me when I was very adamant about the fact that I needed to lock myself in a room and rest and shift that energy on my own. And I had some falling out with some family members because they just didn't understand, and they I don't know why, but like some of them weren't able to understand and weren't able to meet me in the way that I deserve and that I need, and therefore I will not have them in my life. And it hurts, but I send them love, and I know that I'll see them again, after the journey of this planet, and I'm sure we'll talk about it in another life, and it'll be really fun to like reminisce. But as of right now, that's how I have to deal with the energy, because like the game on Earth is different now. Like, it's just different now. Like, we are in a state of protecting what is precious and remembering our power to do so for the survival of our planet. Or what else matters, guys? What else matters? Nothing. We're on a flying rock through space. barely protected by the sun's radiation. All that matters is each other, you guys. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what is happening? I don't know what's going on. So glad you're active again, Azura. Much love to all hatchlings. Layla Angel, so good to see you. I hope you're doing so well. And thanks for joining the live. Love to the hatchlings. Luna Rainbow, I love you all. I believe in you all. Stay strong. Yeah, you guys. There's so much strength in here. Like, there's so much strength in this community because, like, we're watering our own gardens, right? Like, it's like I water you, you water me, and together we grow a forest. Like, together we grow like the most beautiful wildflower patch you've ever seen. Like, what the heck? I am a 1976 fire dragon and have been studying dragon magic since the 90s. Everything you say is resonating with me. Pirate wizard dragon. You're really cool. I appreciate you. I hella appreciate you. It's really, really so... One of my favorite things in this world is hearing like other draconic practitioners who I've never met and who have been practicing for longer than me, who like resonate with my messages, or who have also been passed down those messages from their elders, because it reminds me that I'm not just batshit crazy. It reminds me that like there's some method to my madness here, and I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing because like I know that if it's helping me and it's resonating with you, then we're on to something here, you guys. We're on to something here. And I just like really kind of feel like I had this like download where I'm just supposed to push my channel in just like hardcore dragon direction. Like, I know most of you guys like came here for like maybe dragons, I don't know, but just like witchy content specifically, like, you know, like witchcraft and like Wicca, like that was like that's where I started, you know, before I found like the draconic path and stuff, or just like working with dragons and my spirituality like on a conscious level. But yeah, like after that sit down session I had with my guardian, it just like really reminded me of like my purpose and like what I'm supposed to do, and that like I don't want to like I don't want to be superficial on this channel, like as much as like I have like dreams of being like a musician. Like, I want to like play my music on stages and help heal the world that way. Like, I'm very called to do that, and sometimes I feel like that might be kind of like a superficial desire, and so I kind of like shame myself a little bit. But it's like, no, like the end of the day is like I want to create like a performance that like changes people's lives. Like, I want to uplift people on a soul level through the sound of my music, and like that's what my dragon reminded me. Not only my music, but the sound of your voice, you know? Like, what you say is so powerful and it only matters if you use it. Like, if I didn't say anything like I have for the past 3 years, like nobody would know. Nobody would know. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know anything that you guys have to share with me either. So, my first learning about my portrayal of real-life dragons was from the 90s cartoon Dragon Tales. Dragon Tales! I was raised on that show. I loved it so much. Have you heard of Twin Flames? Yes, Lunar Rainbow. I'm currently with mine. Very, very blessed to have him in my life. Oh, we have Rainbow Luna 1111. Thank you for joining the live. Oh, I finally managed to catch one of your lives. Yay! Happy to have you here. This is one of the good ones. I've been trying to stream at different times, so more and more people can catch them. This is just a little later than I'm used to, so hopefully we get a good one. Good night, everyone. It was nice catching one of your lives, Azura. Yay! The Venture System. Have a good night. Thank you for joining the live. Good. Make people uncomfortable. Depression sucks. Yeah. You know, like, I've been so uncomfortable with my depression for so long that, like, people can be uncomfortable with my joy now. I don't give a shit. Like, I'm living my best life, and I want you to do that too. So if people are gonna have a stank ass attitude about that, they can kiss my ass. I do not care. I do not care. They can kiss my dragon ass. I swear a lot. I'm sorry. I'm trying to stop doing that. But it's fun. I took your advice to surrender my anger and transmute that energy. Rainbow Luna, you are a boss. That shit is so hard. I want to congratulate you because, trust me, I know how hard that journey is and how difficult that decision is, and you choosing to do that puts you ahead of like 99% of the population, because most people are not making the decision to turn their pain into power. So you are the MVP of today. Empathy and compassion is what the world needs, and including those not included, yes. And one of my favorite lines from a Papa Roach song is, the hardest ones to love are the ones who need it most. And I know this might be a hot take, but the people who I'm sending the most love to are the people who have the most hate in their hearts. I send the most love and light to the people who have the hardest hearts because they need it the most. You know, like I get it that sometimes, you know, some practices and some magical practices must be done with the intent to harm somebody, with the intent to bind somebody. And I practice these things too, don't get me wrong. There is their time and their place for that, but with working with my dragon guardians and feeling so lost on what to do, this is what I have been counseled on to do in this scenario. I do not share this love publicly, if that makes sense. It's very much a spiritual situation. The Christian equivalent would be, I'll pray for them. But yeah, like, because at the end of the day, like, all I want is for every single human being to experience like just a better reality. Like, I just feel like no matter who you are on the planet right now, like everybody is struggling with something, is desperately struggling with something. And I just really believe that we deserve better. All of us do, you know? Not saying that we deserve to excuse those who need to be accountable. Not saying that we can say, nah, justice some other day. No, that's not what I'm saying, because justice needs to be served. But what I'm saying is that, like, we all need we all need a break. Okay? We all need a break. And if that break can start here on my channel for you, I am honored. It is truly a privilege to be able to provide that. But, like, it's not good enough for me, at least. Like, I need it in a tangible way. You know, I need it in a way that's outside of social media. I need it in a way that's in the governing bodies of the countries that I love. That's the one. That's the one. Oh my God, everyone get a plant and name it California and water extra. Okay, maybe not. We're not trying to put California underwater. Okay. A lot of people with DID say one of their alters is an animal. It makes me think of theories or otherkin. Do you think that's connected or not? I think Dark Blue, thanks for joining the live. Love your name, by the way. It reminds me of one of my favorite No Doubt songs. But I think that sometimes it is connected. Yeah, I definitely think that sometimes it's connected for system, but I don't think that, like, it's always a DID situation, if that makes sense. Like, Theron and Otherkin isn't always a DID situation, and a DID situation isn't always Theron or Otherkin, but I do believe there is overlap sometimes. Let's see. You have done deep soul work. It's impressive and refreshing to hear such wisdom out loud. Dude, it hurts, okay? Like, that's why no one does this shit, because, like, you don't get brownie points for it, first of all. Your friends drop you like flies, and they will find any reason to lash out at you. It's so hard when you have to, like, do, like, the whole, like, life makeover and, like, redefine who you can have in your life because of what you tolerate. It also means lonely nights and a lot of grief and a lot of feeling and crying, and, like, it's not for the weak, you know? Like, working with dragons, walking this left-handed path is not for the weak. You know what I mean? Like, death is an old friend for me. Like, I hang out with death all the time, not afraid of that shit. Why? Because death is an old friend. I've just dealt with death for too much, for too long. I'm not afraid of it anymore. And, like, I don't care. Like, I'm not gonna be, like, afraid to speak about it anymore. Like, I'm not gonna be afraid, or I'm not gonna censor myself because I'm too ashamed of what I've been through. Like, I don't deserve that, and, like, you don't deserve to have, like, what I've experienced, like, kept from you. Like, we could connect and heal together simply by me choosing to speak, simply by you choosing to speak. You know, like, that's the number one thing, and the number one reason why they want to, like, you know, delete certain social medias, and why, you know, they want to, like, you know, censor certain channels or certain topics or certain keywords, because it's like your voice has power, it resonates. This is what I tell people, especially my clients in the music industry, like your voice has a resonance, okay? Like, and in order to get that resonance, you have to be in tune, right? And to be in tune, you have to attune your voice to the right tone. And in order to have the right tone, you have to listen, you have to hear that pitch, right? You have to be correct with your pitch. It's so, so powerful, you guys, because that might be a music industry take, but take it into the account of on the world stage, right? When you speak the right words, it resonates with the hearts all around living, with the spirits all around before us, and with those yet to come who are watching too, because they're watching, you know, like Earth is the very, very hopping place to be right now. You know, it's pretty exciting to be here. And if you made it incarnated as a human being right now, you're actually one of the cool kids. So don't forget that. You don't have to be afraid when you are grounded in dragon energy and surrounded by ethereal dragons. That's exactly what I've been experiencing recently, because the dragons that I've been working with recently are more like arcane, ethereal type of magical types, not like, you know, like earth, air, fire, water, you know, like the basic ones. It's been very much like very occult stuff, in the sense that it's like I barely understand what I'm doing. Like I genuinely barely understand what I'm doing, but I know that I'm doing something right because I see the shift happening. I feel the shift happening. It's not even, I could close my eyes and still experience it. You know what I mean? Like that's why it's so powerful. So yeah, it's crazy. So I don't think that it's a coincidence that you managed to bounce back on the Year of the Dragon. Oh my god, that's so funny, you guys. Dude, I can't write that. That feels like I did. The plot's too good, you guys. The Year of the Dragon is too good. So sorry, but since we're on this, what's your thoughts on antipsychotics maybe drowning out relationships with the dragons and Fae? Just started a new metagaming. Oh, honestly, I don't really know if this is the episode for me to unpack that one. So I'm gonna say for another video on that question, tragic, nostalgic, but that is a great question because I have a lot to say, and a lot of it just I have a lot of conflicting beliefs on that stuff. But that's life, you know? Oh yeah, we just passed 11/11. Hell yeah. 11/11 stream for the win. I've always been drawn to them, even before I knew I was a dragon, and the Chinese zodiac. And yin yang as well, actually have a tattoo of it. Yeah, dude, like, I've also been very drawn towards, like, just, like, the mythology and the, like, folklore and the spiritual beliefs around, like, Asian dragons specifically, because it's drastically different from, like, any other, like, mythology around the world. Like, the way that they just historically have revered dragons as exactly as they are, which are, like, powerful symbols of just power and, you know, riches and, like, psychic abilities and fortune and, like, you know, the right to rule. Like, all of this just is really cool when you look into that stuff. My friend had thyroid cancer and we thought it was his Adam's apple, but now he has recovered from it. He was depressed and it was really hard for him to come out of it. Yeah, dude. Like, I feel like because all of it's interconnected, right? Like, our health issues are of our mental struggles. Our mental struggles are of our health issues. You know what I mean? Like, the more I have, like, period problems with, like, my menstrual cramps and stuff like that, the more my mental health feels distraught. And then the more my mental health gets distraught, the more my cramps get worse. So then it's like, how the heck do you break out of that cycle? Sometimes people get lost in it until they slowly deteriorate over time. I just got whacked with a pillow. But confirmation that I'm not going to get deteriorated over time, because I just refuse, you know? Thank you for reminding me of the fact that I am not alone in my draconian journey. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily call it a draconian journey if we're talking about dragons. Or you following the draconian path? I don't know. I've had some, I've gotten in a lot of controversy in the past about calling it the draconian path and the draconic path, because they are very different. So just want to make sure. Because, like, I personally, like, don't even really, like, label my practice anymore. Like, I just work with many different like energies and practices, but I focus with like dragons pretty much being like my right hand guide in terms of like my magical practice, because like it's very, very hard to practice like witchcraft without a teacher. And like some people would say I'm just cocoa bananas, or cuckoo bananas as they say, for trying to have like a dragon spirit guardian as a teacher. They would be like, you're making that up, blah blah blah. You know, I've heard it all. Obviously I've heard it all. But like when you really are working with the real deal, you know, it's no different than like, you know, somebody who believes in God, like having God like save their life, you know, like finding God and it like completely transforming their life for the better. It's no different, you know. God is very real for some people, you know, but like dragons are just as real for others. Like, and that's what's beautiful, you know, like there's just so many different things to tap into and to explore, you know, that it's just up to what resonates with you, you know. But you know, you can also resonate with multiple things, and like you can believe conflicting things at the same time. Like there's no rules to this shit. You know what I mean? Like clearly there's no rules to this shit because we like to invent unique ways to kill each other. Like what the fuck? Like so if they can do that, you can invent new ways to practice your spirituality. And I will die on that hill. I don't care. Like you know, as long as you're being respectful of other people's cultures and you're not taking things and erasing people from history, like that's all that matters. You know what I mean? Protect what is precious, but like still make your own stuff, you know? Like you can make your own stuff. We realized girls don't have Adam's apples, so we showed it to a Dr. O. I really hope that they're okay. Like doing rituals for self-care, mental health, shadow work, yeah. Exactly. Today I posted a message on social media because I wanted to help, and you make this live. It's truly amazing. Everything's connected. Yeah, exactly. I really wasn't expecting to go on live right now, but it just kind of like happened because um I like, you know, like the kind of work that we do, like my boyfriend and I, we just kind of don't really know when we're going to need to work. And sometimes he has a call that he's on, like now. So while he's on the call, I was like, hey, let's hang out with the hatchlings. And then after, we're probably going to watch Avatar and have a snack. And I'm going to feel better, and you're going to feel better. Because at the end of the day, like, especially in my days now, when I feel like I'm not good enough, and I'm so serious with you guys right now, I'm being so transparent. Like when I feel like I'm not good enough, or when I feel like I'm not doing enough, or when I feel like my old patterns or old thoughts are starting to creep back into my brain, I just like, I'm like, nope, push it out of my mind, and I'm like, what do I got to talk about on Live with the Hatchlings? And I jump on live and I just start like talking to you guys about some of the lessons that I've learned along the way, and now I feel so much better, you know, because half the time it is just in your head. And something that my boyfriend tells me all the time, as much as it hurts to hear this in the moment, he's like, he was like, you feel the way you feel, but it's not reality. And it's true sometimes. Like sometimes I'll feel like he is like conspiring to hurt me, and he's like, it's not reality. Like just because you feel that way doesn't mean it's reality. And it messes with me every time it happens because it's like so true. It just like reminds me that like I've been through a lot, you know? And it like sucks when you're like, when like your trauma rears its ugly head in the way, in the most like tender of innocent ways, you know? Like it could just be such a gentle moment that you're having with people that you love, and your trauma decides to just rear its ugly head. And it breaks me sometimes. It just really breaks me, but I choose for my breakdowns to be my breakthroughs. So every chance that that happens, it's an opportunity for me to transmute that energy and to uplift myself and to heal and to learn and to grow and evolve. And that's the only way I've been able to overcome any of the stuff I've been through. So I hope that maybe that could help you too, you know, because that to me is what's called I think before I left my channel, I briefly talked about my ritual that I had with my dragons being set on Dragonfire. And that is what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. Being set on Dragonfire is being forced to face all of your shadows all at once and transmute it all at once anytime it comes up for the rest of your life. I will never, ever stop until my life ends. And that is my commitment in my practice. And some people do not have that capacity for that commitment. They are not that serious. They're like, look, I just want like some coffee and some biscuits and a TV show, and maybe I'll go to church sometimes, and I don't want to do anything else. Like, and I completely applaud that life. If that is what you want, if that's what your experience is supposed to be, none of my business. The only time you will ever have a bone to pick with me, or I will ever have a bone to pick with you, is when you start hurting and harming what is precious, because that's why I'm here. I'm here to protect what is precious. So if you fuck with what's precious, we gonna have a problem. Okay, are we clear? Cool. Glad we were able to have that chat. Good chat, guys. Good chat. Is there a ritual that will bring my wife back? No, I'm very sorry, Aaron. Death is very permanent in this life, unfortunately, and the only way to come back from death is to technically not die and have a near-death experience. So I'm very sorry for your loss, but so many men and women have lost their minds trying to use magic, trying to bring their loved ones back, and all you can do is honor them and choose to live for them. And that's the only way that I've been able to cope with the grief of the loss of my loved ones. My dragon guardians focused on healing me since I was 18 and only past 3 years to help others, and I'm 28 now. Yeah, that's a very similar story for me too, my friend. Like, it took them a solid like 10-15 years to save my life, you know, but slow and steady wins the race, and now is better than ever. So I'm glad that I can at least have, I'm so glad that I've made it to this level in my life where I can at least show up now the way that I am and like not be ashamed and not, you know, not have lost that opportunity because I made a stupid mistake or a stupid decision or a very permanent decision, you know? How do you feel about working with fictional dragons such as Spyro or Rayquaza? Actually, I have a hybrid Pokemon stuffed animal in my closet that is Rayquaza and Charizard. It's literally, I call him Rayquarzard. I'll bring him on, I'll do a live stream about like working with like fantasy, like what's it called? It's called pop culture witchcraft. I'll do that with dragons, like the dragons that I work with from like pop culture and stuff in my practice, because dragons are dragons, okay? I don't care how they get created, they just are. So like I work with the ones I resonate with that are open to me, right? Because some dragons are closed. So like Quetzalcoatl. I can't even pronounce their name. I have no business working with them. But anytime they come up in my consciousness, I'm always sending them good vibes, you know. Funny how Dragon Feather doesn't work with the feather dragon. I think that's very ironic, and the dragons laugh about it all the time. It's really funny to me. Let's see. Is it weird that my guardian dragon is a sea dragon, but I have fears of sea monsters? No, that sounds about accurate. My dragon guardian, my like main one as a kid, was like an air light dragon, and I was afraid to fly and shine. So you right. Welcome, Magic Mixies. Oh, love that. Oh yes, please do the pop culture witchcraft video. Yeah, pop culture witchcraft. Yes, I'll do one on dragons, because this is obviously a little too long already. I was here a lot longer than I intended to be. I'm so surprised so many of you guys are awake. Like, okay, maybe late night streams for the win. I love being awake at night. It's so peaceful. It's truly one of the best experiences. But yeah, so I think I just to reiterate, you know, the stream before I kind of head to bed, because it is pretty late, I just want to remind you guys again, like, please get your story straight and focus on protecting what is precious. If you are subscribed to my channel, that is what you are here to do. That is the purpose of this channel. I guess I'm deciding now, this soft rebranding to just dragon focused content, because like that is like what I resonate with. That's who I am. Like, I still do the magic stuff, but like the lessons that they teach me is what I want to talk about. Like these new guardians, right? There's certain information, of course, that like I'll never share because it's very secret, but like, and sacred, but like in terms of like people to get their like to get their priorities straight. That's the word. Like, people on this planet need to get their priorities straight because everybody's just a bunch of toddlers who can't control themselves. And I'm pissed. Like, I'm annoyed. I'm frustrated. Like, and I know I'm not the only one. So, like, if you're gonna work with dragons, like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear your bullshit. Like, you need to be on your bullshit. Like, I'm here to support you, but I'm gonna call you out on your shit because it's like I'm calling me out on my shit too, because it's like I have done some things that I'm not proud of in the past, but it's like I had to make the choice to keep doing it or to be someone else, you know? Like, I had to make the choice, you know, to not lash out at other people, not take it out on other people, and start taking it out on like my spiritual guardians, because they can take it. They can take anything, you know? So please remember this, and we'll see you soon. All right. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful night. Dragon energy is serious energy. It is. It's so serious. It's like I can't even play about it. You know? So I hope that this message from my dragon guardians resonates with you guys. I love you so much. But until next time, stay geeky, and if you want to learn about manifesting your dream life, you can get my worksheets. If you haven't already, they're only $3.69, and it's pretty much just how my dragon guardians have taught me how to manifest my dream life so I can show up the way that I do now. You don't have to buy the worksheets though. It's just for you guys if you want them, because I'm really proud of them. Okay. I'm tired. You're tired. Have a great day. Love you guys. Sending dragon blessings, and we'll see you soon. Blessed be and bye, little hatchlings.